be back. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. God calls us to go to the nations and preach His word, and it's definitely necessary. Each and every person is necessary. Don't think that because you don't know how to sing or because you're not a doctor or you're not necessary. There's so many things that entitle being a missionary. Um, we had a lot of work to do from the day we got there. We got there about 10:30 in the morning. It took about 2 hours to get to where we were going. And when we got there, for the first 2 days, we were on about 48 hours of not sleeping because there was a lot of work. We took a lot of stuff from here, and we had about 50 luggages that had to be unpacked and sorted. So we put out a whole bunch of tables, and everybody just sorted everything because every different church brought their own provision to Costa Rica. But it wasn't enough. We brought a lot, but it wasn't enough. So we had to go to the store 3 times because we had a lot of children. We gave out gifts to about 800 children. The dentist saw about 200 and change children. And it was just amazing. You know, we went with the program, but God completely changed the program. It was just, He was working day by day. You know, it's like we were set to see this amount of children that day, and He doubled it. We were set to do one program, and He doubled it. You know, because the need was just so much out there. And when the people saw us get there, as we were going church to church, we just became so popular because all the pastors kept going to all the services that we were going, and then everybody was requesting us, please come, because not that we had anything special, but our job was to bring the love of God over there to the children and to the adults. And I know we gave, but I feel that we received more than what we gave. I mean, I am a different person. It changed me completely. The humbleness that they showed me really broke me down. And to see the abundance of what we have here in the States is just amazing to what they have over there. And they have things. They have water. They have clothes. But one of the things is, you know, how we waste water. We waste so much water. And it's one thing that we realized over there. You know, while we were in the Bible Institute, we had one shower to about 20 women, which is difficult to do. When you come from here, you're used to taking an abundance of water and just taking these like awesome showers with hot water, to go to a place where there was barely hot water. There was barely water. They're not used to having people take 5-minute showers, so to say, because it's not even, 5-minute showers is too long. They don't really open the shower. They take showers with, you know, the sink part of it, or whatever you call it, or they'll have a bucket with water, and that's the way they take showers. They conserve water because they don't have the abundance of water. I mean, they do, but they don't have the abundance. It's super cold too. And yeah, and when we had some type of water, it was the ice bucket challenge water. That's how cold it was. When we had water, sometimes we had drips of water, you know, where we had to try to wash the necessities because we didn't have water. And it's just, you know, we take for granted what we have here. And, you know, even though this is what we were told is one of the countries that is the most advanced, that has the most, even though it has all that stuff, not everybody can get to it, not everybody can afford to have those things. You know, so it just showed me, you know, how to be more grateful for what we have over here and to try to minimize the things that I waste over here. Something as simple as water, you know, instead of brushing your teeth with the water open, you know, that little bit of water, there was a sign, and even in the hotel where we went, which was a nice hotel, more updated, there was a sign that said if you take a shower with the shower, you waste 60 liters of water. So not to do that, to take a shower, you know, like turn off the water. And we don't know that. I mean, I know people that come from other countries. Sister Sarah was telling me, Sister Genesis, when she first came, she would turn off the water as she washed herself and then turn it back on. And those are things that we here don't do. We take that for granted, you know, but it's simple things like that, you know, I learned from there. Also just the humbleness of the children and the women over there. they're so needy. Not that we're not needy here, but there's just so much brokenness over there, you know. And we went to a lot of poor towns where there's, they don't call it crime because it's not like killing, it's just a lot of robbery, just because people don't have to, you know, get the stuff for themselves. So it was dangerous, you know, to be in these places at night. During the day it wasn't as bad, but as Sister Sarah said, everything is gated. It's like a fortress, basically, from top to bottom gates, because unfortunately people will break in and steal stuff. So during the day we were okay, but at night we weren't allowed to wear jewelry or take purses or anything because it was dangerous, you know. But it was a challenge for us to get used to it the first 2 days. People were like, well, why can't I take my purse? You know, we're just going there, we're going in a big group. Yeah, we're going in a big group, and we're as safe as possible because, trust me, they took care of us very well. The presbyter was very on top of everything, making sure that everybody was all right and trying to control 57 people, adults. You know, don't go to the store, don't go here, because we're stubborn, some of us, and saying, oh, but I just want to go get a soda, I just want to go get this. You know, we have visitors that come here and we treat them to the best that we can. You know, we provide water, we provide, these are things that these churches didn't have. They didn't have cases of water waiting for us. 57 people in a place where it's hot, we're thirsty, we're hungry, we want to eat all the time. They didn't have the abundance that we have here, you know, so it was hard for some of us to get acquainted to that, saying, you know, we've been here all day, because sometimes we were at the churches from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. So they provided breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us, and they gave us great food, but, you know, we were used to eating snacks here and there, or our coffee, or, you know, and it was hard for some of us to get used to it. And we wanted to deviate and go to the store and get, because we had money, but it wasn't as easy as just saying, oh, I'm just gonna go to the store and buy something, you know, because we had to be careful, we were in bad neighborhoods. But like I said, it takes a big group to get this to happen. We had 57 people, and most of it, I think towards the end of the trip, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were the easiest days that we had, but Monday to Friday, it was just nonstop work. We would get up 6 o'clock in the morning, prepare breakfast. 7 o'clock we had service. Then after service, 7:30 we had breakfast. By 8 o'clock we had to be on the bus to go wherever we went, because everything was far. Everything was about an hour to 2 hour drive. And like she said, these roads are not easy roads. I mean, if you guys were to get on this bus, we drove in a really big like tour bus. And the second half of the trip we were by mountains. So we were like, this was our bus and the mountain was right here. It was like one little wrong turn and we could have gotten off the cliff. So it was scary. It was so scary to be on the bus, to drive for an hour and a half, to see that. We were like, but it was amazing. It's a beautiful country. But there's a lot of need, and I know Costa Rica is not the only country that has need. There's so many countries that have need, and the little bit that we can plant in these places is amazing. You know, we didn't give these kids a lot. We had to stretch, even though we bought stuff and we brought our own stuff. We had to stretch, because to give presents to 800 children is a lot, and we also gave presents to over 200 women. Men was about 200 also, men that we gave little gift bags with essential stuff, soap, toothbrushes, deodorant, t-shirts. We had a company that donated 1,900 pieces of shirts. They were like t-shirts or tank tops. We gave those out, and these people were so like amazed with us bringing these things to them, you know. And it was just, even though it was something little, it was nothing big. We didn't bring them jewelry, we didn't bring them, you know, a car, but to them, this t-shirt with soap and toothbrush were essentials, because some of these people share toothbrushes. Most of these families share toothbrush, don't have soap to take a shower, so it's important, you know, the little things. And whether it's financing these trips or donating supplies, they're very important. And I mean, missions has gotten a special part of my heart, and hoping to go to future mission trips with my husband and my family, because I like my children to see. Sometimes they waste food, and in these countries, we were at one church where they open up the, it's like a soup kitchen kind of. At 12 o'clock, they open up to the community, and they feed as many people as they possibly can. Now, they don't feed them rice and chicken and an abundance of food, but they do have rice and beans, and they'll give them like a plantain or a serving of vegetables. Like, it's a small plate, but they try to feed as many as they can. While we were there, they must have fed over 100 people. And about 2 o'clock, the food ran out. And it was so sad to see the people coming and there was no food. And it's like, I wanted to take what I had to give them, but it wasn't enough, you know, and it's sad, but that's just how it is in these countries, you know. Even though churches try to help, even though people try to help, it's still not enough. They need a lot. And hopefully there will be more missionary trips, and we can all go to one or another. Like Pastor said, if you don't have the funds, that's one of the reasons why we do these, you know, donations and stuff, try to raise money so that everybody can join us, because everybody's important. Everybody can work, everybody can help, whether it's giving somebody a hug, a word from the Lord, or just praying for them. If you saw a lot of the pictures, how these children and women were broken, they just needed a hug, they just needed a word from the Lord saying, you know what, He's still there, He still loves you, keep going, keep fighting, because a lot of these women are single women that don't have husbands, that are trying to make ends meet to support, unfortunately, 3-4 children, you know, but it's an amazing experience, and I call each one of you out to come with us on a missionary trip, because you will never be the same. You will change completely. It has changed me for what I do for the Lord, also in my own household with my own children. I see my children differently, I see my husband differently. I appreciate everything that I have more now. So, thank you, and God bless you.